Right now, you are doing something no animal on Earth does quite like you do. You are filling time. You have a calendar, a to-do list, a screen in your pocket that makes sure there is never a single empty moment. But the version of you that existed 100,000 years ago had none of it. And what that version did with its hours would make your average Tuesday look unrecognizable. The assumption most people carry is that ancient humans were desperate, exhausted, barely surviving. That assumption is wrong, and the research that dismantled it is one of the most uncomfortable findings in modern anthropology. In 1966, anthropologist Marshall Salins presented a paper that reframed everything. Drawing on fieldwork among the Kungsan of the Kalahari and Aboriginal communities of northern Australia, Salins argued that hunter-gatherers worked between 3 and 5 hours per day to meet all survival needs: food, shelter, water, tools. 3 to 5 hours. Then they stopped. He called them the original affluent society, not because they had abundance in the modern sense, but because their needs were few and their means of meeting them were sufficient. The gap between what they wanted and what they had was small. That gap is where stress lives. So what did they do with the rest of the day? They rested. Genuinely, unashamedly. Anthropologist Richard Lee, who lived alongside the Kungsan in the 1960s, documented adults spending large portions of each afternoon lying in the shade, talking, doing nothing in particular, not recovering from exhaustion, just existing inside the day without agenda. They played. Researcher Peter Gray, a psychologist at Boston College, argues that unstructured adult play was a central feature of daily life, not a reward for finishing work. It maintained social bonds, sharpened cooperative instincts, and regulated the chronic low-grade stress that kills modern humans slowly. They talked, lavishly, without destination. Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar has argued that gossip, tracking social relationships and reputations through language, was the cognitive predecessor to abstract reasoning itself. Your capacity to model other minds was sharpened not in moments of crisis, but in long, lazy afternoons of talking about other people. They made things, not because they had to. Archaeological records show evidence of decoration and art made from materials that served no survival function. Beads strung from shells, ochre pressed into geometric patterns on rock. The urge to make something beautiful appears to be as old as the species itself. They moved. Not in the way you move, scheduled, tracked on a device. They wandered. Paleoanthropologist Herman Poncer, whose research on the Hadza of Tanzania transformed how scientists understand human metabolism, found that the Hadza burn roughly the same number of calories as sedentary office workers in the modern West. Your ancient self was not burning itself out. It was moving at a pace the body could sustain indefinitely. They watched, not screens. The world. Indigenous ecological knowledge systems reveal a depth of environmental attention that has no equivalent in modern life. The Kungsan could identify animal tracks from days-old impressions in sand. The Simane of Bolivia maintained oral knowledge of hundreds of medicinal plant species. This was built through long, unhurried attention paid to a world most modern humans no longer look at. Here is what this adds up to. Your ancestors were not grinding. They were not optimizing. The chronic restlessness you feel, the sense that you should always be doing more, is not a human inheritance. It is a modern invention, younger than writing, younger than agriculture, younger than the wheel. You did not evolve to be busy. You evolved to be alive. And there is a difference. Though it can take a very long time to remember what it feels like.